So at this point, guys, at least today, it's pretty obvious what's going on, right? Money's coming out of AI stocks, memory, GPUs, the picks and shovels plays. For now, that's a short-term trend, and it's going into software stocks. Palantir's up 7% right now. ServiceNow, the IGV, everything pretty much is moving software related, so we have to cover that. Break down Palantir, a couple other stocks, where my head's at, and of course, we'll go over the overall market, which as of right now, we're about 20-30 minutes away from close. Well, we're all over the place. We have covered some ground to the upside here, but the Qs are still down about 0.25%. S&P's up barely 0.1%, Dow's up about 0.5%, and we have the Russell up 0.75%. So actually, guys, not too bad of a day. Very good day, honestly, considering where we've been. And oil, it's all about oil today as well. It's tanking. Brent is down 9%. WTI is down 8%, so oil's tanking for obvious reasons, right? The ceasefire for now, on both sides is back. Well, I guess it's not a ceasefire technically, but well, they're both Iran and the United States. They're not hitting each other for now. I guess technically that is a ceasefire. Either way, that is causing oil to go down and this overall relief rally to happen. But it wasn't enough for these AI stocks. We covered this earlier. And by the way, guys, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe and check out the Patreon if you want to join the private Discord community, see my portfolio updates, all my trades in real time. And today we made 4 trades in that Patreon portfolio. So the AI stocks, man, they crapped the bed, even though we got some pretty good news regarding the Middle East. We can see, again, the overall green day. Micron still had, well, it didn't have, I guess the market's not closed yet, but it's still down, let's say, 3%. Lam Research down 4%, Coherent's down over 5%, Nvidia's down 4.6%. Stocks like GLW, which I'm currently in and I'm down a decent amount on right now, that's down 3% on the day. So the whole trade, at least the stocks I'm watching primarily, are getting hit today. Whereas again, Palantir, look at this thing go, 7%. The more this thing trades, the more I think we've hit the bottom, for now at least. You can't ever guarantee that or know for sure. I mean, do you have a crystal ball, guys? If so, send it my way, please. But, at this point, Palantir, it's clear we're seeing money come in from the AI trade, and it's kind of putting in a temporary bottom for the stock. It's putting a floor on the stock right now. And really, guys, if you look at this line right here that I'm drawing out, we've really held 125 to 130 for months at this point, ever since the beginning of February, other than that one-off drop, which was egregious. That sell-off was ridiculous, man, and I bought it there, made some money on that snapback. Other than that one-off drop, we've been holding 120, 25, 30, 35. That's a good sign, but we are still making lower highs. Keep that in mind, but at the end of the day, man, how much lower can this go? It's already down a lot. We're heading into earnings here on the 3rd of August, so a lot's coming up, man. And if this stock crushes it, which I think they will, it's been rare for Palantir to report a bad earnings report, man. So if their guidance is strong, on top of that, I think, you can make a case. I think this could start trending back up. But again, it's not confirming the breakout 100% yet. We're not there yet, but we are above these moving averages on the 4-hour chart for the first time in a couple weeks, and we are trending or testing the trend line here at about 130.40. That's a big spot. If Palantir can start to break that point, that could be where the actual breakout comes. Maybe we start filling this gap back towards 160. That's a big resistance in the short term, but we're not there yet. That could happen on a breakout post-earnings on good earnings, but we got to be patient, guys. And of course, I'm not an earnings gambler. I'm not going to go out and buy call options that expire 2 weeks away with a 140 strike. I mean, hey, maybe when I was just starting, I would have made that move, right? 10, 12 years ago. But at this point, it's like, I'm going to play it safe. hold on to my long-term shares and ride it out. But it does look like, again, the more I look at it, the more I feel like we might be near a bottom. Money keeps coming into software. Each time it takes a notable dip, money plows in. AI stocks continue to fall. Now the question is, when AI stocks ultimately rebound, which I think will happen, the question is when. Does money come out? Where does that money come from? Maybe cash on the sidelines. Sure, there is cash on the sidelines. But does money flow out of software to go back into AI? That's the million-dollar question. So if we get a big run here in Palantir, it could drive a lot of buyers to come in. Oh, finally we're breaking out. But hopefully it's not a false breakout. Hopefully it's not a sucker's rally before we get, or you know what I mean? Hopefully it's not a sucker's rally and then we ultimately get that rotation back into AI and it comes from software. We'll see, though. We'll see. Just a thought. Either way, man, Palantir, forget about trading it. I think it's a good long-term investment. If you buy and hold, sell calls, maybe run the wheel on it for some income, you're going to be fine longer term. Short term, yeah, it's a roller coaster, but that's why it's a great stock for options, selling options. Premiums are usually always juicy on Palantir, especially around earnings, so keep that in mind. That's a quick breakdown there. ServiceNow is also up, as you guys can imagine, and this stock is by no means breaking out, just like Palantir, but it is approaching a big resistance at about 110, which we failed breaking out of a couple weeks ago, back in May as well, back in April. So I think ServiceNow is at the breakout spot, but it's not fully breaking out yet, if that makes any sense. I think this thing needs to take out at least 110 to 15, preferably 120, before we really start to break out. And just like Palantir, even though it's not breaking out yet, it's also been holding support steady since February at about 9,500, 105, 110. Other than that one-off drop to 80, we've held that spot like clockwork. All we have to do now is actually confirm the breakout. But like I've said, man, a lot of these software stocks look like they have a temporary or maybe a permanent, we'll see, floor under them. I just think that's the case for some of these. Maybe not all these, but for a good amount of them, right? CRM is another one that's up on the day. This one actually has taken out the lows from back in February, so it's not like ServiceNow and Palantir where we've held those lows. We actually took them out pretty aggressively. Well, I guess then again, Palantir did. We went to 105, but we've rebounded back over that 125 key support. And in this case with CRM, we're not quite yet above that key multi-month support, which in this case is 175. We're almost there. But either way, money's coming in. CRM, 6.5% in the green. IGV is up, let's see today, about 3.5%. IGV actually looks pretty good. This ETF has been making higher lows for the last couple of months, so it's actually doing well. We hit about 108 couple weeks ago. We have a bit of a wedge, higher lows, lower highs at the same time. So what direction is IGV going to pick? That's what I'm paying attention to. Toast is another one, ticker TOST, which I'm long. Toast, and guys, I don't want to be premature here, but I think this has put in the bottom, and I think we're finally starting to break out here. This chart looks good. It looks like it's bound for a full breakout. Maybe after earnings, depending on how earnings go. They're on the 4th of August, guys. So what I'm noticing here is we have a multi-month resistance at about $30, $31, which is where we are now, right? Which that's been resistance stemming back from the beginning of March. And look, we have a clear ascending triangle heading into earnings and also a cup and handle. Do you guys see that? That's very bullish for Toast here, to the point where, hey, if they crush earnings, report strong growth, a ton more restaurants added and so forth, we have a wide open gap to 37 to $40 a share. I've been in this stock, admittedly, for a little bit now, not over a year, but it is one that I've just sat on. I've been down on it, not much. I think my average is 32 or 33, so I'm barely down. I've been selling calls on it all year, and I haven't been assigned, so I've been collecting premium like a madman here, and it's one of those names that it is genuinely underrated. People know about Toast. They know about their role in the restaurant industry. They're crushing it there. That's their sole focus. But people don't realize the moat around this business, the management team, right? The growth, the restaurants they're adding, the AI aspect of their actual business. It's a juicy one, man. Not just chart wise, but fundamentally, and that's why I've held it for a little bit here, under a year still, so not crazy long. But I plan on holding it for quite some time. And I think, look, we have a wide open gap to fill here potentially after earnings. And look, I'm in the stock. I have hundreds of shares of Toast. It's not at that 1,000 share level. I don't think it's going to get there, but across my two positions, I have hundreds of shares, and I'm selling calls on it, collecting some premium, and I think I'm in currently. Let me see my portfolio quickly, guys. I think I sold. I can't pull it up yet now. Forget it. I think I sold the $37 calls, or 35, 36, one of those that expire August 21st. So we'll see, man. If this stock rips, I might be getting assigned, but I don't think I'll get assigned, to be honest. But collected the premium, setups there for a breakout. Do I think we go to 37? Probably not before August 21st, but overall, long term, I like Toast. And when in doubt, zoom out. The charts look pretty good. So the point of today's video, guys, is, well, the AI trade continues to face some pressure. We have concerns out of China, which I think is a bunch of FUD, if you will. I mean, yeah, it's something we should pay attention to with their Chinese, the Chinese AI models, but they're still nowhere near where we're at. So the reality is, guys, that's fear causing more, uncertainty on top of what's going on in the Middle East, rates, all this crap. But I think it's a good time to buy and hold stocks. Where else are you going to put your money, right? Are you going to hold cash long term? Are you going to go buy Bitcoin, gold? Yeah, that's a decent option. But the reality is, man, are you going to go buy real estate with the rates where they're at and how expensive everything is in the housing market? The reality is, guys, stocks are the place to be for a lot of people's money. It's the best place to invest, and it's a good time now. It's always a good time, especially if you're just starting. I'd say start in any market, whether we're in a bear market, bull market, get your money working. So follow along for more, guys. Hit that subscribe button. I think 50% of you guys on YouTube are not subscribed, and we're trying to get to 100,000 subs. And join my Patreon if you guys want to keep up with my portfolio updates. I post those all the time, all my trades, investments, options moves, all on Patreon, and you get access to my private Discord community, and we're talking all day, guys. You can ask me questions. I write in-depth responses. We talk all day, stocks, investing, all that stuff. Check it out. Link down below, pinned in the comments, or go to StockSurfFest.com/Patreon. I'll see you guys in there. Have a great rest of your day.